we all know it is probably not. Little chat with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And in a company beside it, you back. Watashi tachi wa sorera wa subete bunseiki shimasu. It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night. Fighting all the shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles breakdown.
We were kind of showing off my new book.
It's kind of insane to me that I get less lag on this streaming platform than I do from Restream. For whatever reason, switching over to this, your intro no longer lags for me when we're in studio.
Perfect.
I could tell he was bopping to it.
Oh, you can hear me? And then I got a whole bunch of dude. I found this and I was like, dude, I want it.
And we know
I've been
why
that
you
way.
want it.
I literally came across a Witch Hat Atelier art book when I was at Barnes and Nobles like a few months ago, and it didn't matter to me. I was like, all right, you know what? I know I'm already overspending, but I'm going to buy this anyway because I need it.
I needs it. Were you like this is sounding like Gollum over there? But I needs it.
Once precious. I can't really do a good Gollum right now.
Stupid Biggles trying to keep it from us.
Stupid Biggles. Nasty Biggles.
So I went to the to a con this weekend. As soon as I got better, yesterday was like the first day I was like completely good, and I was like,
So
yes, it's
let's
con
just go
day.
over this. You were dealing with some sort of illness.
Yeah, basically
As
AIDS,
soon
I
as-
guess. Straight
As soon
person
as you
AIDS.
felt the least bit better, you ran right to a con with thousands of people to be patient zero to
Exactly.
infect them all.
Exactly. But I
Good
had
job.
to meet all the Kaiju number 8 voice actors. So basically I just need to meet Hoshina, Aoi, and Iharu, and I've met all of them. Because funny enough, I've met I've met two of them that voice the like random side characters that like are only in the first season. So I've already met them, but I haven't met those ones. And I was like, I just need to meet them now, and I've met all of them.
Fuck
But-
all of your health. I need to I need to go
Exactly.
meet everyone from this mid kaiju series that I'm obsessed with.
You watch your whore mouth, okay? It was a lot of fun. And then I talked to what Adam MacArthur, right? The voice of Itadori and JJK, and the voice of Reno and Jujutsu Kaisen. I was like, so listen, the last time I saw you, you're now in a rap song. You're you got a new season of JJK out. I was like, Kaiju number 8 had another season that came out. He's like, man, it's been really good for me. He's like, I'm a rap god now. Did you know that? Because he was in like a song with Megan Thee Stallion doing the I like girls with long legs and a nice ass, like Jennifer Lawrence line.
What the fuck?
We're going to get into this in a little bit.
The closeted BL series.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't come off as gay to me. Although,
well, that's because you have zero gaydar.
Probably. I mean, I was able to.
You watched the gay series that I put down without even having to watch because I knew it was going to be gay, and you freaked out because I didn't tell you.
Yes, I did. I was like, Crimson, why didn't you tell me this was going to be gay?
What was that one? Like the vacation spot or something like that?
Yeah, like the Noble's Vacation or whatever. Yeah. But I'm sure Muffler Tape watches that still. But dude, listen. Do you know how many animes have Japanese men bathing together? If that was gay, then every anime is gay. because they all have some kind of bath scene. So there you go. Muffler Tape thinks all anime is gay. Uh, uh, Muffler Tape is confirmed gay. Thank you, Muffler Tape. Okay. Uh, now let's. Why the fuck is it me? Stop this. Bad. There we go. Um, I flew under Biggles' gaydar. It's okay, Blue-eyed Scorpio. We forgive you. Okay, so let's talk about anime. So, what do we think of the hero of the South, or uh, this world Levi Ackerman? Right, he's humanity's strongest. Right?
Or you're the
Right.
once again, I'm really pleased that Frieren was able to retain its top spot after moving up those 30 places.
You know
So
what?
this
It
episode,
was it was very close to becoming number two, because Medalists might be the greatest sports anime I've ever watched.
we've been telling you for a year to watch Medalist.
Yeah, yeah, and I said I will eventually watch it, and I did. Okay, and I do not regret it at all. Okay, it was perfect. Okay,
So free reign, yes. I really like this episode. You can basically divide it into two parts. There's the whole thing where we get all the lore drop about the hero of the South. And it's kind of nice because where I am, having gone through like the whole El Dorado thing, Schlatt the Omniscient and the hero of the South get referenced pretty heavily in that arc. Um so it was kind of cool to see like all this stuff talked about here, that kind of, and some of the things that happened in that arc alluded to
mm-hmm.
in this episode. And then, of course, we can go to the whole sword demon thing, in which everyone, was kind of just like drooling over the fucking MILF demon with the sword. But it was also a really good fight. And I don't know why some people thought it, just like there was a controversy over power scaling because of that episode.
Why?
Because apparently Stark being able to kill a dragon is not a good thing.
All right. Well, I assume most people that watch anime are retarded, because of us.
Hey, speak for
Okay?
yourself.
Because of us,
Speak for yourself.
It's because most of them, when you like interact with them on the internet, you're like, all right, you guys are like the dumbest fucking people I've ever met in my life. And I
It,
haven't met you in my life. I only met you on Twitter for like 3 interactions.
it do be like that sometimes.
So I just assume they're all fucking retarded when you try to have a conversation with them. I remember one time, like I think I did a Goblin Slayer video, and one of my comments was just all the things I would do to Priestess, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck?
That's the first time I've ever heard anyone gooning over Priestess. Holy shit.
I don't know how old this person was, but like they were like, oh, Priestess.
I mean, that's certainly a choice.
There's the Sword Maiden, there's like Cowgirl, there's Guild Girl, like
Hell, even the elf.
they're all like if you think about it, the Sword Maiden is like the blind version and more stacked version of Priestess.
I mean, Goblin Slayer is effectively working the traditional waifu for every type
Uh-huh.
method.
Yes.
We've got the
I support it. I
the
support
tomboy
it
elf. We've got the cowgirl. We've got the the guild receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
We've got priestess. We've got the saint or whatever her
Sword Maiden.
Sword Maiden. Who
We got
you're right. Who basically you're right is if you want a good reference, if people understand the lore, if you look at Supergirl and then stand her next to Power Girl,
mm-hmm.
that's effectively Priestess to the Sword Maiden. It's the same character design. We've just expanded her breasts 17 sizes bigger.
And then there's also like the heavy female knight, and by heavy it means her armor, not that she's a fat girl, And then we got the giant titty witch. So
Who has the very definitive Biggles approved Dommy Mommy undertones to her speech pattern.
hey, she's a great character, okay? And she hangs out with Spearman, who's my favorite side character. Okay.
That she
Um
does.
she does. So it's not the Sword of the South. The Hero of the South was fucking badass too, because he how many did he say? They said he killed what, four of them?
Three.
Three of them?
Three. So there are
Three.
7. And if I remember the breakdown, he killed 3, 2 escaped, and then Himmel and his party were able to defeat 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2
And
that escaped would, I
the
believe,
guillotine.
or the
Frieren killed
guillotine
one.
and
Yep.
mocked of the Golden Land would be the 2 that escaped.
And now, and effectively, we've seen Frieren finally take that other one out. So there's only one that should be left at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Well,
I'm pretty,
in the anime,
yeah.
there's only one left. So the one that they defeated at the beginning of the series, that I believe would have been one that they defeated. There was another one that I believe they ended up defeating. And then you have the Hero of the South who defeated 3 more. Aura got away, Mock to the Golden Land got away. Well, now Aura's dead, which basically just leaves Mock to the Golden Land.
Okay.
Yeah, and I loved the characterization of the Hero of the South was so good. Like, this is a dude who we got effectively
Half an episode.
4 minutes of him like actually talking,
Mm-hmm.
maybe at that, with a couple more minutes of just some voiceover lore of him taking out the those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how goated Frieren, right? A secondary character who's appearing just for like half an episode has more character development than most of the people in Kaiju number 8 who were there from the entire show.
I mean, yes.
Well, here's the thing: the Hero of the South, he got half an episode of content dedicated to him. He spoke for maybe 4 minutes. Like, he was actually like a part of the show for like 4 minutes.
Funny
Won
enough,
the
that
best character of the week.
He did, and he was a very good character.
And the editing on it was so masterful, with like where he's coming to see Frieren, and we've seen the part where Himmel recruited Frieren before, so it's meant to, we get like it's a recreation of that with the Hero of the South, and then the Hero of the South, like, because of his power, says like, I know you're not going to go with me, but in about a year there's going to be another one
gonna come to recruit you.
Yeah.
Or, no, not in a year. He says he's going to die within the year. He says,
Yep.
Soon after I
get
leave here, after I depart on my journey, another young hero is going to appear before you to try and recruit you, and you'll go with him.
Now, does that also recontextualize, the part where we were looking, in the first season, we got the storyline with Himmel not being able to draw the hero sword?
Well, one of the things I've always taken out of that is that Frieren really emphasizes the importance of ordinary things. Because if you keep in mind, no one in Frieren's party, in the hero's party, was particularly special. I know that seems ridiculous to say, but Himmel was not a chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
Hyder was not especially pious as a priest. He was a drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Eisen was a coward. He wasn't particularly brave. And he's not necessarily the strongest either, because Stark would later surpass him. And Frieren's not even considered a spectacular mage for an elf her age.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Now,
another, it's one of the
part-
recurring themes throughout Frieren is not only just the cultural sentiment of, or like the Japanese cultural sentiment of Mono no Aware, but this emphasis on like just ordinary things becoming incredibly special, being the things that get overlooked and are actually more important than you would expect. Fern.
Yep. And what I was going to go with was, it also shows, because Frieren, as aloof as she generally is, remembered what the Hero of the South had told her. So if she genuinely believed he had precognition, which at the point where where Himmel shows up and recruits her, it would kind of, and the fact that the story would have probably gotten to her at that point that he did die and went out exactly like he said he would. She knows that he also said this is the man who's going to finally take it over the finish line. He's going to get like he's the one I'm going to get it to first and goal. Right, I'm going to take out the things in front of him that would have blocked him. The clear intimation is that it's the precognition on each side is the biggest power, and that's why he was specifically going there to take out that guy.
Well, actually, it's a little bit more the other way around. Schlatt the Omniscient was terrified of the Hero of the South because of his achievements, and that's why he basically led the charge in trying to defeat the guy. Because if he had been left to his own devices, he would have caused a whole lot more damage.
Nice. Which goes into what you were saying about overlooking the ordinary, right? Like you're so focused on the extraordinary, and like Frieren said, he was genuinely the most powerful hero the human race had ever produced. But Himmel's the one who was like overlooked and just went over the finish line. But in the context of what I was getting at with when Himmel isn't actually able to do this, to do the thing that's supposed to be necessary to really be the true hero, and he doesn't lose his attitude in conjunction with what Frieren knows already from the Hero of the South, that had to be like her real like moment to realize he genuinely is the real hero because he's got the right mind.
Attitude.
Like that's what the Hero of the South was kind of talking about. It's not always about power. It's about he's going to have the right words to actually recruit you. He's going to be able to get the most gifted mage who's ever lived, even though she flies under the radar.
And to tie that in with a little bit of Frieren lore, that's why you can point back to something like Flam saying that it wouldn't be someone like Sari who would defeat the Demon King, because Sari only focused on the exceptional, the perfect. She was obsessed with the best that there was. If she would have overlooked someone like Fern, because Fern's exceedingly average, there doesn't seem to be anything super special about her on the surface level. But it was Fern who impressed her most during the exam arc.
Yep. So I think that's this show is so layered. It's so, and like getting back to the editing when they're with the recruitment, with overlaying at the back end of the Hero of the South's pitch and conversation with Frieren, where they do have the edit with Himmel coming up to her as she's tending the flowers. It's just so good. I mean, I can't. It is amazing that it is lost no steps going from season 1 to season 2. Now that's clearly maybe the product of the source material being exceptional, but it also means that the people making it are honoring and taking their time and doing it right.
So before the season, I rewatched all of Frieren, and it picks up right where it left off. It still looks amazing. And then this episode was so good that I didn't want to put Medalist over it. Because you have the Hero of the South who just came in. I did like the little, like how, like everywhere we've seen, it's either been, or most of them has been of Himmel, right? Most of the statues have been of Himmel. There was the one of Kra and his ally. Kraft, sorry. And his ally. And then this one, we get introduced to the Hero of the South. And they're like, who's this guy? And then we get the lore. And then we get this scene of Frieren remembering him and like meeting him and all this. So I really like this episode. And I do like the line where he's like, you'll know when you meet him.
You'll understand when you meet him. And I just got to say, I don't think I've said this in any of our talks, but the fact that they got Millet to do another ending for this series is fantastic. I love the song that they created for this. But on top of that, just the whole outro to this show being hand drawn, like page by page. Really good, like finishing detail right there.
Mhm. All right, let's jump into another peak series.
Just yeah, Frieren fucking fantastic. It deserves those top slots. It's so good. It's so good.
This one is also so good. This is probably the best sports anime I've ever watched. And
Congratulations, finally acknowledging what Crimson and
I
I have been telling you for so
finally
long.
finally
We've been
watched
telling you that this shit was good, dude.
finally watched it, and like I even like season 2 starting. You got her like asking the girl who competed in or for the gold for
Mm-hmm.
Japan, and then it's like, how do you make it to the Olympics? And that one girl's just being a complete asshole. Like apparently that's a thing in figure skating is every girl seems to be an asshole because they have to start at such a young age, and if they're not good enough, they're kind of jerks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but one of my favorite characters is Mittens, and she's kind of a little jerk. And then she finally realizes, and she like
The little
she re-
tsundere girl,
she,
yes.
she she redeems herself, and then she's like one of my favorite. Like I love Mittens, and I like how she like told off that fucking blonde haired dude. Like,
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things I really like about this, so I've talked about quite a bit about how characters really, really matter to me when it comes to any form of anime. If
mhm,
I can't at least find one character in there that I like or can be invested in their story, I'm not going to have a good time. This, I feel like the best part of it to me is the dynamic between Inori and Tsukasa.
mhm,
Like he's a really good mentor, super enthusiastic, constantly trying to make sure that he's being the best teacher to these kids and like genuinely invested in what they're doing, not out of pride or whatever, but because he likes teaching them and he sees their potential and really enjoys the sport himself.
mhm.
And then of course just Inori being goofy is always funny, like the whole worms thing
Yeah.
from the first season where she
Yeah.
finds comfort in digging up worms.
Well, that was how she got to skate. So it's like it makes sense that she was like, now I need work. This is my happy place because it got me to my actual happy place.
I was skimming through the first episode of season one not too long ago when I was doing my like 10 anime I would recommend out of 2025
Hmm.
video. And I was looking at the animation for the first episode. I was like, even when they're not using CGI, they're doing really good. Like the whole thing when Tsukasa first catches Inori
Hmm.
and she bolts out of the skating rink, like
Hmm.
all of that was really, really well animated.
Yeah, and
And
she's it was almost like she was like an inline skater too, because she was like grinding on the like poles and
Mhm.
stuff to run away. Like
The big thing I will
crazy.
say is I hope we see a little bit more struggle in this second season because I mean the first one does have that like second place contest
Hmm.
where she doesn't win it because the other girl kind of like finds her confidence and like does really good.
Hmm.
Um, I would like to see if a few more of those kinds of things where maybe she's not winning first place, but she's placing well. It
Hmm.
would to sort of thread like when I first reviewed this series, I said it did a really good job of threading that needle. She's not necessarily this Mary Sue type character who can do everything perfectly. There still are a lot of times where like she's training and practicing for all this stuff. She's got onboard talent, but it's not just showing her succeeding with
Hmm.
no effort.
Well, like her first win was against Mittens, and Mittens messed up and had like a lapse and wanted to redo it, and so she did outside of her routine, and she probably would have won if she didn't go and do a jump again where she didn't get points.
Yeah.
So, uh,
It's just one of those things where I would like to see a little bit more of those things where like you actually do show that not outside of just the chick who's gone to Russia. Um uh there are other people who are like genuinely like competitive for her or like hard for her to beat.
Uh-huh.
I think it would help add a little bit more tension and stakes to this series. I feel like it would probably help to, alleviate the whole Mary Sue thing that I've seen some people legitimately level against this series.
Well, I would disagree because like you see it, and I highly doubt she's going to beat the girl that barely loses to Hikari. Right? Um, sh-
Either way, fantastic series, just outright.
mhm. Yeah, I wouldn't call her Mary Sue at all because
No,
if she was a Mary Sue, she never would have fell during any of her competitions, right? She would have dominated them completely.
She wouldn't
You know,
need her training sessions with Tsukasa all the time.
she wouldn't have to train all day, and she's literally training all the time. She trains so much that he's like, we have to take a break, otherwise you're going to hurt yourself and not be able to compete. So I
I
think
mean, this show really is great about. I mean, from an athletic standpoint, it really captures the pressure on. I mean, figure skating isn't my sport. My wife really likes it.
mhm.
I don't think anything that's judged is truly a sport because it's subjective. I
uh
don't like relying on subjective judgment to assess athletic performance. That being said, the figure skaters, gymnasts, especially women,
mhm,
have a window of basically from 14 to 22, generally speaking, where they can succeed. And if they don't hit that window, their life is, and they're spending, so they're compromising their entire childhood to
mhm,
pursue that dream, where if they achieve their goal, they're effectively done. By the time you're going to college, their career is already done and they've
mhm,
peaked. And there and but people are truly committed to doing it because it is what takes it to get to peak athletic performance. You've got to
mhm,
be up at 4 or 5 a.m. getting to that rink, getting out there, constantly working to do all this stuff, perfecting your routine, your jumps, being able to go on a tiny blade,
mhm,
skating on ice to be able to throw your body into a spin, do 4 complete rotations in the air, and land on that said tiny blade. That's
mhm,
like not even a like an eighth of an inch sometimes that you're catching on the ice. And obviously, there's joke shows in anime where they have sports and sports are a setting,
mhm.
but then you get the shows that take their sport genuinely seriously, and they can be a great um, character development. That's like Crimson was saying, characterization is what usually really separates great anime from not. And in this case, you've got people struggling to achieve their dreams at such a young age. There's so much conflict just in being able to get to the rink and get get your practice in, compete. Then you get in competition, and you've got the conflict between people who are your friends but also your competitors. It's a very compelling show. I don't
Mhm.
think anyone should be scared of the fact that figure skating is the subject matter because there's so much more going on with
Uh-huh.
it. So like I said, I'm not a big person who watches figure skating. I was immediately engrossed in this show, and I watched it, and me and Crimson were pumping it up for Biggles to finally get in, especially because we know you love the sports anime.
Mhm.
This one is one of, I think, the best sports anime that they've ever made.
I agree. So everything I know about figure skating is from Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell, and I can tell you right now that does not teach you jack shit about figure skating. Um,
No,
but
that is.
but this
I
this
mean,
was
for
fantastic.
us old timers, the example would have been The Cutting Edge with DB Sweeney and and the dude from Lost as the love interest dad.
The other figure skating one I saw was uh it was a hockey anime where uh the the dude dies, the hockey player dies and gets reincarnated as a figure skater. And he's like playing hockey when he's not being the figure skater.
Is this an anime, or is this like a
No,
movie?
it's like a movie from it might have been like Disney from like the very early 2000s, and I can never find the fucking name of it. Um, I don't think it's Ice Princess, which I think is usually
Ice
what.
Princess was Michelle Trachtenberg, where she was a waitress and nerd who just becomes a figure skater.
Oh, then yeah, it's definitely not that
Are
one.
you sure you're not thinking of Cutting Edge, which is about a hockey player who gets injured and can't play hockey anymore, so he becomes a pairs figure skater?
Maybe it is Cutting Edge. I don't know.
It's
No,
like
no,
He
it's
just he just threw the isekai thing in there.
no,
your
no,
brain has been
it's
so warped by anime, you just assume it's an
no,
isekai.
no, it's not this one. I haven't seen this one.
They made like 3 sequels to it without the same characters. It was all because they were all Disney spin-off type ones where they would like just same way they did for Cinderella Story and all those other ones. So you might have been watching Cutting Edge 3 or something. Cutting Edge
No,
in Another
no,
World.
it's none of these because I'm looking at like 9 different things for it, and they're all different. Front, yeah, none of these are them. Uh, yeah, but I don't remember what the name is. But one of my
The
biggest.
2000 TV movie Ice Angel, also
Oh,
known as
maybe.
On Thin Ice, follows a male hockey player who dies and is reincarnated into the body of a female figure skater,
Yeah, I think it's that.
starring Tara Lipinski.
Yeah, it might be that one. What is that one called? Ice Angel?
Ice Angel.
Yeah, so I think it's that one. Yeah, yeah, it's probably Ice Angel. Yeah, that looks like it. Yep. I think it's that one. Yeah.
Featured Tara Lipinski and Nancy Kerrigan.
Yep, I'm pretty sure it's that. Okay, that makes sense, and it's the timeline too. Okay, so I did the new video for check the anime tape, you know, with Coach Biggles. Thanks for that name, little Chad. Uh, I did the beach volleyball one, and I didn't like it at all. Like fan service, like top tier, right? But as far as like a sports anime, that suffers from a Mary Sue. There's no way uh, you're going to beat someone who trains with you every day, right? But has been doing it for fucking like 8 years longer than you, and you're just starting, and you're going to beat them somehow, and you're going to fucking master a move you've never done before or never practiced before in competition and be able to pull it off multiple times in a row. Like, it fucking pissed me off so much watching it. So medalists should be not this week or not this upcoming Thursday, which isn't when it's going to be, but the week after. It's going to be try nights, which is like a rugby one, because that's what that was suggested. So I'm going to do that, and then medalist will be the week after because I want to do a video on this because it's that good. And then I'll be like, what do I know about figure skating? Absolutely nothing. But I now know more stuff about it because you can actually kind of learn the sport because they go over the moves and what they do and like how you have to do them. So, oh, before we go here, I'm going to show everybody my new clip.
Please, just address me as Zenobia.
Very well, if you prefer. Zenobia. Ha.
Idiot! Concentrate with everything you've got.
I love that one. Oh, my bad, Swigs. Okay, so Holy Grail of Eris. The dude that they were like, stay away from her. She's now engaged to him, and I think that's kind of fucking hilarious. And then this one, we got a little more like searching into the mystery. She goes to the slave auction party, and they like go in, and the poor girl like gets like trampled over or whatever. Well, she's probably not a poor girl because she has that tattoo, so she's probably like head of the slave trade, but she like goes down and like everybody's leaving her, and Constance is just like, "Let me help you." And like everybody realizes who this girl is, and they're like, "Is that her? Like, what are we going to do?" He's like, "Oh, no need. I'm engaged." And he's like, "What? Well, what?" So there's some funny parts in this episode. I like it. What do you think, Little Check? Because I know you're watching this one.
Oh, I genuinely like this show. I think the the interaction, like you said, with the dude who's now the fiance,
Yeah, Rudolph. That's so funny. Like, how did that even happen?
which is funny. She's got the I'm still more intrigued with the mystery. I mean, this time we got the what was our little
so,
tease for this
so,
episode? It was going into was this one the one where we got the flashbacks to the jail,
um,
or am I
no,
thinking of this previous
the jail was the episode before this one.
the episode before? Yeah,
So Lily, this one they talk a little bit about like Lily's thing, but most of it is all preparing to go to that party with the
yeah, the
mask.
ball.
So
Yep.
so she goes undercover into Scarlet as a maid, meets Scarlet's brother. Um then after meeting Scarlet's brother, they get the mask, they go to the thing. Uh she gets caught. Um and then he's like, I need to get engaged so people leave me alone. So for your immunity, you have to get engaged to me. And she's like, okay. And then now there's going to be a setup for the next episode. There's basically like a short little thing of this.
Yeah, I still like the fact that as villainous tropes go, this one has a unique spin, which is the same thing we want from isekais. Right at this point, it's such a common show. I need something. Yeah, it's like this reminds me basically of a Shane Black buddy cop movie
Mm,
where you've got the young like wide-eyed rookie with the like grizzled veteran
yeah.
in terms of like, so you've got Eris and then you've got Scarlet, who's the like, I'm gonna guide you through everything and teach you how to, get
Mhm,
through this society. And this is I don't want another just cookie cutter villainous one. So this
mhm.
is hitting the spot for that kind of thing. It's just same as kicked out of the heroes party. All right, that's happened now a million times. What are you doing that makes it different and compelling?
Yeah.
Making from the beginning of the show where they opened with her execution, which was animated very high quality,
Mhm.
to like where we at now. This show has been different enough that it's kept me intrigued. And then getting back to Crimson's theme, the character stuff, I really like Scarlett's character because
Mhm.
it seems like that front that she had of being was really just being, honest and working the system. And she got set, and some other people set her up. She doesn't, there's memory gaps that are missing from her, so she doesn't have
Mhm.
everything. And then I like her interplay with Eris, who's about as earnest and sweet and innocent as they
No,
come.
Scarlet is Ernest or Eris. Um, so Constance is Constance Grail. She's taken
Or
on the moniker of Eris from
yeah.
Scarlet is Eris.
Yeah. All right. So Constance Grail, with her sincerity.
Mhm.
Oh, they're so sincere. She's so sincere. And she's so naive. I think what is it? She's got the little chubby friend that hangs out with her, like where she keeps
Yeah,
telling her,
Katie or
she's like,
Kate.
I'm not sure I like where this is going, but I guess it's okay. Like,
Isn't she like, then get yourself a man? Like, like, she's like that friend that's like, go get it, girl. Like,
You see, my big problem with this episode, and this is probably going to get me some flack here.
it's okay. I'll forgive you.
It felt like it speed ran a bunch of plot points to not give us any like major information on where the plot was going. Like the most relevant thing we got out of this was the princess. We meet the crown princess basically.
Cecilia.
The chick with the really cold hands, who's probably actually just a fucking puppet of a evil god or something like that.
You think she's going to be like Terranetza?
Probably.
You think she's going to be Terranetza?
Reanimated corpse is what's more likely.
Yeah, just the fact that she specifically drew attention to the fact that her hands were super cold was like an interesting thing to me. But again, it's like they go to the masquerade in order to look into like to get some more information on like this cult or whatever to see if they can learn anything. They don't learn anything, and Constance gets caught. Then the plot just decides, oh well, you're going to benefit from this, and you're going to get this engagement that gets you into that protects you and gets you into some upper society stuff so that we can introduce a couple of characters. It would have been one thing if they had actually found information about the people they were looking into at that masquerade, and then all of that stuff had happened. It would have been relevant. It would have been better if they had found anything at all on this supposed secret organization that's running around controlling everything.
Well,
But nothing comes up in this whole episode about that.
well, they were going for blackmail to get blackmail. Was
Yes,
the point
but
of?
they don't even do that. Like they literally don't
Yeah,
accomplish any of their goals. And
Yeah, 'cause
Constance
the
fumbles
party-
her way up. She fails upwards.
Yeah, because the party gets like super or got raided like super early, which is why they didn't get any information.
Can I just say, when you're watching an episode and you get a map break where they start moving chess pieces as an infographic, and it's like, all right, this is like Crimson saying, this is a speed run of lore that you're trying to dump really fast, and how do we animate this the cheapest way possible with chess pieces and a map and some Microsoft PowerPoint infographic arrows coming out
Like,
of them.
I don't hate this episode. I don't hate this series because of it. I don't think that it was trash. It's just if we're being objective about some of these things, it felt like it covered a lot of events to give us nothing that actually pertained to the core part of the plot.
I think it was just a setup episode, to be honest.
Doesn't really feel like it set anything up though.
It set up the princess thing, and then it set up the sun, like the sun tattoo that they'll be.
We already
looking
saw
into
that in the
later.
previous episode though. That exact same woman with that exact same tattoo, we already saw that. If they had noticed the tattoo, it would have been one thing, but they didn't. It just flashed it on screen again.
Well, Constance noticed it. She even said
But
something
no,
about
but
it.
no, they didn't.
She
Just
when
to sum
when
it
she
up,
was on the ground, she did. When
I
she
don't-
was
I don't
looking
think
over
she
the
ever did.
girl, she mentioned that she saw the tattoo. She said, "What is this tattoo?" or something like that. Well, not tattoo wasn't the word she said, but she's like, "What is this sun?" or something like that.
What is it? This, do you remember the old? This sounds like, to sum it up, the old quote, the Shakespeare quote is, "Full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." Like there was a lot of razzle dazzle, but it didn't really advance much of anything.
Yeah,
Steve
and
Marcel
again,
talked about it.
it just noticing it and then not actually like doing anything about it. Oh, great! You had a main character see something that they're going to suddenly remember later on. It's going to become super relevant. That trope kind of sucks.
Well, they didn't ask her about it. The conversation about the tattoo that happened later was between one of the guards and Rudolph. So they didn't ask her about the tattoo, which means if they ask her later, then they'll have the information. So
I think that I felt like that episode was more of a waste of time than any of the previous episodes. It's just my opinion on it.
That's fine. I mean, it was good. If you ask me, it was just not as good as the other.
I expect them to not jam pack a bunch of events in there just to have a bunch of events.
Yeah. Well, you got to move the story along somehow, right?
Yeah, you move the story along by actually dealing with the mystery at hand and not just making a bunch of shit happen on screen.
All right, let's go to Wash It All Away. I love this character. All right, that's all I got to say.
Which character?
Kinmei?
Kinmei?
Yeah. Kinmei?
I actually think, as far as my favorite character for this show goes, Nairo is probably my favorite.
The little girl. Yeah,
the little
she's
girl.
awesome
She's hilarious.
She's awesome too. Yep. It's the best. The best two characters are those two.
I mean, she basically gets to bury her face in Kinmei's titties without any consequences. So, like,
and she's just like, just like.
You don't have to fucking clear up the questions, but not doing anything to your core mystery.
Well, they set up things to figure it out later. There's little.
Yeah, you're all wrong. You're all wrong.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, it's true.
If they covered that right away, then there would have been nothing. If they instantly go, here's the tattoo. Here's everything we know about the tattoo. Oh, that tattoo leads here. Now it's going to go really quick, and it's going to be a lot easier to solve the mystery. If
only if you're a shit writer.
If the people aren't asking the right questions to the right people, then it's a harder mystery to solve.
So basically, if everyone's retarded, your mystery is gonna last longer. Great, thank you.
What's the mystery right now?
It's the mystery box system. That's clearly how you do it.
Yeah, because their subtitles for the Netflix version were shit.
Whatever you say, Crimson.
That has nothing to do with anything else. Like, I kept up with everything else just fine, except for half of that episode because they did the fucking subtitles in a shitty way.
Is this how, like, when I watch High Dive, they leave out words in the sub?
Sometimes, yeah, but in this case, so you know how normally when you do subs, you'll get like full sentences or like a good chunk of dialogue at the bottom while characters are talking? Well, instead, whoever did the Netflix subtitles decided they were going to try and time literally every fragment of a sentence with how the character was saying it. So sometimes you would have like a second and a half to read a section of the subs, and it was god awful.
Well, there's times in Crunchyroll where you'd wait, or you'd get the subtitles like a minute before the thing or the word actually were spoken on screen, and that happens all the time on Crunchyroll.
Like, I guarantee you, whoever is doing the subtitles for You and I Are Polar Opposites was thinking, well, if you can read all of the subtitle before they're done talking, that's a bad thing. No, it's not. In fact, that's the better way to do subtitles, and whoever did these should be fucking fired.
Well,
not just for that, but all the fucking lingo that they put into it too. Netflix subs are dog shit.
Well, then see if you can choose a different sub because you're using a different. What's it called? You're on the seas.
Yeah, I'll have to find a different source for it.
Well, I think that the one you use like lets you choose which subtitle versions you're using, right?
Though the funniest part was that it was just this one character too that they would do all that for. Like, everyone else, fine. But it was one character who would constantly talk in like these sort of fragmented sentences, and they would only take the fragments one at a time. They wouldn't make it the whole sentence. So you wouldn't get the full allotment of time to read the whole sentence. You would have to be to a certain point at a certain time. It's shit. You can try and insult me and call me dumb all you want, but that just makes you look like a fucking retard, okay?
It's okay. Can be a fucking retard if you want, Crimson. All right. Yeah, I just really like this one. Little Chad, do you want to say anything?
I still haven't started it.
Oh, I'll forgive you.
It's one of my comfort anime for this season. I kind of liked this latest episode of it because, like, it just, you got the whole some of the younger members of the cast being introduced and all the whole thing with the twins. That was fun.
I met Teresa's voice actress this weekend. I was going to. I almost picked her thing over the one that I had her sign, and I was going to be like, "Can you just put the quote? Give me head pets. Like, am I worthy of head pets?" It's like Teresa reminds me of my dog. Where he's just like,
She's like a puppy.
he's like, give me head pets. Like, I'm just like, okay, good job, you know. So like, what's it called? Scum of the Brave, hood language in there, dude. I don't understand some of the words they say in Scum of the Brave, like in the subtitles.
Yeah, they went with something really fucking weird for Scum of the Brave too.
Uh,
I really liked this episode of Sentence to Be a Hero. I liked the character interaction. Specifically, I liked that Xylo is getting a little bit of recognition for saving people in this, not just from like the knights, but from like the civilians who like recognized the mark of the heroes and all that.
and they saved that little girl's dad. Let's
Mhm.
go.
They did. Yeah, we got the best outcome. The king guy just going full on like, we will die before any of my subjects do.
That dude is awesome. Like,
That dude was like the
he better be
MVP
in
of this
he
episode.
better be in every fucking episode.
He was the MVP of episode 3 here.
Yeah, I mean this whole like mini, I don't know how long it's going, like mini arc about with the show has done a great job of within the story organically giving you such a sense of the greater world in the fact that they care absolutely nothing about the average people, right? Like they're willing to, they are pawns to be sacrificed for the greater achievable goal. He, like they are arguing with him, but when he decides to go down to save them in earlier, I forget which leader was talking them out of doing it, and he said, we're F it, we're going. you know it's so well done organically, right? Where you don't have to actually have him, he doesn't have to look over and try to give a monologue about how, like this is the structure, the church doesn't care about X, Y, or Z, or it's done in such an easy context. There's miners trapped, we can save them, but that's not what we're here to do, so we're just going to let them die. No, we're gonna go do that. We've got, and then we get the slight. It's like almost like the throwaway line is like, "Oh, so and so is here. He was the most gifted person at the Magic Academy," and so we're starting to get this, the backstory on who the king, quote unquote, actually was, even though we haven't got the full, to do on how he went so nuts. To get where he's at, but they're establishing the part where, and they're also within the lore structure talking about the pros and cons about those sacred symbols, what they can and can't do, how much you can do with them, but there's a price to be paid. You're gonna lose this. This stuff is being done so well, even though it's moving at a fairly decently fast clip. If you're paying attention, they're doing it in a way where you're picking it up just fine.
You see, that's the thing, is I would argue that like I don't really think they're moving at like a fast pace at all. Now they've got a couple of short arcs and you could mistake this as moving at a fast pace, but what have they actually done in terms of a core plot? That's the big issue that I think this one has going against it, is that right now it just kind of comes off as like an action adventure series, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it kind of wants to present this like revenge plot at the end of the first episode, but it hasn't necessarily done anything with that, and it hasn't really gone back to sort of re up that whole plot point of like Xylo wants revenge against the people who wronged him.
So I'm going to counter by using an example of a show that we all thought had potential that was completely squandered, which was Unlimited Gotcha last season, which also was a revenge story, and it meandered and completely blew any momentum it had and ended up being not a great, well-received show because it didn't understand how to pace it. I'm going to agree with you that, we haven't necessarily advanced the main storyline really far, but it's paced well enough that we're still in, like, we're not bored of the show. We don't have us stumbling around the dungeon for 5 episodes arc so far. Like, they're keeping us engaged. They know that we need, they're giving us what we need to keep in, in this as we're getting deeper into it. I think right now what they want to do, like in the first double episode, they reveal the revenge plot that he wants to do. But at this point, they also want to give you a couple episodes to have the bond develop between him and his new goddess as a character. They want to get, and they wanted, and we get to introduce a couple more side characters so that they can, I think that's important to do too.
Plus,
Here's
he
the thing, as I
also
still really like this show, I was only pointing out the one thing that I had observed about this, not necessarily doing a whole lot in terms of actually pursuing an end goal or setting an end for viewers to anticipate. Like with My Hero Academia, it comes out and says, this is a story of how I became the greatest hero. Okay, so you know that the story is going to end when he becomes the greatest hero in history. Okay, cool. Or like Naruto, you know the story is going to end when he becomes Hokage. Unfortunately, it didn't end when he became Hokage and they continued on with Boruto. Either way, I still like what this show has done. It doesn't feel like with Unlimited Gacha, the big thing that I complained about with the wandering around in the dungeon was that it didn't introduce any new information whatsoever. It only told us a bunch of things that we had already experienced throughout the show. The racism against humans, the fact that light was super powerful, yada, 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 on and on and on and on. It mentioned the maestros didn't do anything. These couple of episodes have actually done. The first episode kind of establishes the grim situation that we get, and it teases what's kind of going on in Xylo's head.
plus, okay, I want to say something too.
Just
So.
before you go, Biggles, I have a couple more points on this. The second episode and the third episode tell us how the powers work. They give us a little bit more in-depth description of how they work and that they need sunlight in order to activate. So they're not as useful underground or at night. You can actually run out of power in those situations. And then you're just not going to be as effective in combat. We learn a little bit more about that. They introduce some more characters. There's a bunch of new stuff introduced in these. Plus, it also expounds on existing character relationships, like with Xylo and Teorita, as well as I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
I don't know. Swigs is fucking retarded.
And now I'm off track. Basically, they actually do some good stuff in this as far as character dynamics, world building, and all of that Unlimited Gacha didn't do with the wasted time.
All right, so for your revenge plot that happened like 20 minutes ago that you were talking about, it just felt like you guys were talking for like 20 minutes when I kept trying to say something. He's going to have a hard time doing the revenge because they can just blow off his fucking head with the curse around his neck. Another thing they did really cool was the what's the guy's name who's basically he's probably died so many times that he's lost no part of him that he was able to ignore the sound and just go balls to the wall kicking the shit out of that thing.
Good question. Let's see here.
What was his name?
So for characters,
I think it started with
Tatsuya.
Tatsuya? Okay, I was way off. Tatsuya, yeah. That like it does a really good job of showing what happens when you've died too many times as a hero through that character. I like the part at the end where Terranetza like interrupts Xylo getting praised and was like, I deserve this too because I'm like
it was my power, therefore I'm the one who deserves the
Yeah.
praise for this.
yeah, like,
It's like a little puppy.
yeah, basically. And
that's one of the things that I would say is like I feel like a lot of people who have ragged on this kind of have skipped over is that a lot of its storytelling is done in subtleties. It's a little bit more
it's all
focused on the
show
characters right now.
than tell.
It does a whole lot more showing than telling, yes.
Yeah, which is the right way to do it. No one's ever watched Seinfeld. Well, Seinfeld ended before Crimson was even born. So,
I was about to say I don't watch Seinfeld. I don't watch The Big Bang Theory. I don't watch Friends.
well, you lucked out by not watching The Big Bang Theory. That show fucking sucked dick. One of the
My
punchlines.
mom loves it, and there was one time where a family member tried to say that I was like Sheldon. I was like, "Don't insult me like that."
Yeah.
And they got they were really shocked by that. I was just like, "Sheldon's an
Wait.
asshole. Fuck you." If you're gonna say I'm like Sheldon.
Yes. Although I think I'm like the same age as you, Swigs. But I just didn't watch TV that wasn't cartoons. But like one of the punchlines for The Big Bang Theory is just like saying 4 comic book characters, and then there's this really fucking annoying laugh track, and I'm like, that's not even a joke. Like, what? Why do people think this show is funny? And
It's funny to people who aren't nerds because they think it's a really good caricature of nerds.
Yeah, it made people think being nerds are cool, and like my sister loved that show, and I was like, this has nothing to do with like nerdy stuff. All right, let's see what's a um.
You know how
No,
then you know that's true because I don't think they ever brought up anime once on that show.
probably. All right, so let's talk about like uh. So I want to talk about this.
Did you? I just want to ask real quick. Did you watch the Death Game show yet?
I told you I dropped it,
And I told you you needed to undrop it and
and I
watch
told
it.
you I didn't want to. You know what? Two seasons ago, because there was so much shit that was there, we decided, hey, or let's each choose 2 besides like the 4 that we're going to watch, and let's talk about it. And none of you watched the 2 that I chose, and I watched the 2 that both of you chose. So I refuse to choose one that you did now because of that. I am spiting you for what you did to me.
I mean,
All
that's
right.
fair. That's fair.
To be fair, little Chad, I actually did end up checking out the first episode of Shiba Yugi this week. It's not for me, I don't think. I'm gonna get current on it, but for the same reason I don't watch stuff like Saw or Final Destination, I don't feel like watching Shiba Yugi.
But you can agree objectively it's well
I think it
made.
looks.
I don't think it's a bad
Yeah,
anime whatsoever.
I think it looks very awesome, and the storytelling was pretty good. It's just not for me.
I don't want to sit here and like unless you're like actually have some sort of like narrative like big like overall like more traditional narrative reason for characters to die, it just kind of feels to me a little bit too much like torture porn.
Um, so I want to talk about a few more because this is going to be a shorter show than normal. So
Right.
this one, Vigilantes, we might get Knuckle Duster back. And the reason why I say that is we got the preview, and it did a side profile of his daughter, and then it also was going to be titled "The Man Returns." So I'm hoping the man is Knuckle Duster, and they mentioned Knuckle Duster in this one. So I'm really hoping.
I honestly
comes
I've been
back.
waiting for Knuckle Duster to just randomly show up at Koichi's apartment
Yeah,
at some point during this season and be like, "Yo, kid, how you doing?"
yeah. I'm hope like it would be so funny if he shows up with his mom, and he comes to visit Koichi with his mom. Even though like they're not a couple because he has got a wife and everything, a kid. But
It would be really no. It would basically be really funny if Pop Step is chewing Koichi out for using the projectile attacks. It's just like, do you remember? Do you remember what he did? They're like sitting there like talking shit about him, and they
oh yeah,
walk in. He's just like kicking back on their sofa, drinking a beer.
I could also see that too. That would be. They need to get Knuckle Duster back in this ASAP. But this was a good episode, man. Like with Eraserhead and everything.
Mhm.
I like at the end where he's like, "Hi, Eraserhead," and he's like, "I don't know them." He must be mistaken.
I loved being seeing the good action sequence with Eraser. I mean, because his power set and his attitude and using those straps, it's like seeing all that like actually in there outside of the My Hero standard show where he's like the teacher from for class 1A, and there's a whole different vibe to it. Like, it's fun seeing him just as the gritty street hero. Like, I like this show. I like the way that it worked, and with the almost cell shaded, like, comic booky styling of the show that they use. His fights the fight came off really
Bam!
like interesting, like when they do that zoom in on his pupil, like yes, like it's really cool. I like it. Obviously we've talked before about how good this show is as a spin-off within the universe. Hopefully that's a sign that other spin-offs don't get
It actually takes a meaningful deviation from what the original series did, in that while the original series is more so focused on like training heroes, this one has been more so focused on heroes actually on the street, like actually doing their patrols, actually doing things. It's less of the academia and more so of the hero part.
It also, if anybody remembers, or was a comic book reader, like Marvel did a whole imprint in around the 2000s when they also launched the Ultimate line of comic books. Marvel was trying to revitalize themselves coming out of bankruptcy. And one of the other things that, as much as everybody remembers the Ultimate Spider-Man specifically as being a huge thing that helped Marvel get back on the map, they also did an imprint called Marvel Knights, where they specifically did a refocus on street level heroes instead of like the giant, great intergalactic threats or world ending threats. They went and focused on Daredevil, Luke Cage. I mean, you guys are probably, it was pretty much the imprint that led to the Netflix adaptations, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, Daredevil, and Punisher, like the street level vigilante style heroes, like like My Hero Academia vigilante. And it was really compelling because for these people, stopping a regular robbery is like their focus. They're not worried about the Kree and Skrull invading Earth. They're
not fighting demigods. They're not stopping
Yep.
invasions. They're dealing with crime syndicates and lunatics.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's a lot what Spider-Man
things that are a
did.
lot closer to the
Yep.
average person than some far off cosmic threat.
And what's interesting is this was also kind of a lot of times when Spider-Man was most compelling, right? When he's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, instead of dealing with these giant world-shaking events, you're dealing with just stuff in Queens and Manhattan, like who's robbing what bank. And so this focus, when you're taking, especially coming off of where My Hero ended with the Shigaraki, like world watching fight, like where his final punch of Shigaraki was like altering the weather in the United States. Like that, we're still got clear skies, no clouds for the foreseeable future. So it's a nice change. Like the show is coming off even more refreshing as a change of pace because of where My Hero just ended. At least that's how I'm coming up from it, because it feels like Crimson saying it's like such a different zone of the world to be operating in. The storylines are fun, the animation style is fun. I am also looking forward to we got the tease of Knuckle Duster, who's as street level vigilante as they come. So
he's got the quirk of creating trash bags. Headcanon. So I have to rewatch the last episode of the main series to see if I can find Koichi, because technically Koichi ends up going to America, I think, with this dude. What's his fucking name again?
Captain Celebrity.
Yeah, Captain Celebrity. I think he goes back to America
the Booster Gold of the My Hero universe.
Yeah.
In particular, there's something that hasn't been mentioned, and it's the fact that they've done a really good job of developing Koichi's powers in a very interesting way.
Well,
like they didn't just go with like they actually have like a cool plan for like what his powers actually do. And that's one of the things that I've respected about My Hero Academia is they actually have a very like like detailed, like thought out process for how these characters' powers work. With Koichi, it starts off as just like, oh, he slides around at the speed of a bike. About halfway through season 1, he's keeping up with high speed chases. Like this dude is running alongside of Ingenium, like actual like fastest characters in the series kind of stuff.
Even though
And now they're actually modifying his powers even more to like be able to reverse the flow of that force that he can create and actually use it as a weapon.
the funny thing is the speedsters in this world aren't that fast.
No,
Because
they're not.
they're always
You-
getting beat by the other characters.
Well, here's where you have to run in, and like this is why I respect My Hero, right? If you're dealing with people who we were talking about like a quark kind of thing,
Mhm.
you've got if you start introducing like speedsters who have flash level speed, you're gonna get into time travel, and that breaks all fucking storytelling.
Well,
like
just-
you've got to keep it grounded. Like a speedster. Also, let's talk about if all you can do is run really fast, you're gonna have the like. And I really like that about the original My Hero, show. There's a lot of physical limitations that you're going to be dealing with your body when you're trying to move at those speeds.
well, this one has the speedster in this season, and he can't use it for like a while before he does it, and he can only do it for certain bursts.
He has short bursts of really high speed,
yeah,
basically,
yeah,
with a cooldown.
yeah,
Which is akin to almost like a high-end sprinter, right? They're
yeah.
like when you get to the highest level of sprinting, they can do most of the time they can really go all out like 1 or 2 races a day
Mhm.
to really hit their peak, and otherwise they have to scale it back or they're gonna not be able to deal with it.
Mhm. Let's see.
And that's why, like Crimson saying, they've always with My Hero, they've always taken the quirks so seriously, and it makes sense, right? If you're born with the quirk, like a mutant power or whatever, you're gonna spend, and in this case, the entire world and society is built around maximizing your quirk's potential. We have hero support.
Well-
We have like all this stuff.
We actually know Koichi's potential because his cousin, who has the same power, is in the main series.
What I was what I was saying is that they've always made a point of showing how in the My Hero universe people are focusing on developing their quirks constantly. Like, so you're gonna see those evolutions of what you can do with
Koichi's
it.
cousin is in.
Yep,
Why can't I
She's-
think of who?
it's a girl. She's in the big 3.
We talking about Nejire?
Yeah,
I didn't realize she was his cousin.
yeah,
Huh.
they're cousins.
I did not know that.
I learned that but because of how much I pay attention to like the world of My Hero Academia.
Huh.
They're cousins. They have the same quirk. It's just she knows how to use hers way better, and he was because he
I
started
think hers is a
cloning
little
as
bit. I think hers is kind of different, but they're very similar.
Yeah, that might be true, but they work the same.
Generally, they are pretty similar, but even like within like families that have like long lines of quirks, like
Endeavor.
Tenya Ida had a different, like a technically like slightly different variant of the quirk that his family had than his brother Ingenium did.
Mhm.
So like with Ingenium, if I remember correctly, it's either on his back or his arms. With Ida, it was on his legs.
Mhm.
So there are
But-
variations like that. Sometimes you would think that they would be a little bit different. It looks
Obviously,
like
we've got
Nejire's
the
is-
whole. I was going to say the Endeavor family as an example of trying to get. I mean, of the entire family having variations of the same quirks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably something very similar, but has enough variation to where there's probably a scaling difference.
Well, one of the main things with Koichi is that his mom would beat him anytime he used it. So he
He has
had
to
like the
overcome his
flip-
own subconscious limits. Yes.
Yeah, basically, yeah. She's not his cousin. I'll at you what I found on Twitter, dude. It's in like a thing.
Well, that's
So
real
good.
convincing.
It
Right
was
now,
in a,
it kind of
it
sounds
was
like "Trust Me,
Your
Bro."
your
it was
answer
in a
was it's in a thing. Trust me, bro.
it was in an official thingy.
Are you sure that the official thingy wasn't
Thingy.
fake?
I hope not.
Is Najiri related to Koichi? Based on canon information, they are not related. They appear in separate storylines. No familial connection. Uh, different distinct ports. She uses wave motion, which is energy spirals, while Koichi uses slide and glide, later classified as flight. No, so it doesn't look. I don't know about where the official thingy is though.
It kind of
I think
comes
it was.
from. I think it comes from the fact that on Reddit there are a couple of panels where so here's an actual quote from Nejire in the manga. Hey, listen to this. There was once a kid who got discouraged, quit trying to be a hero, and caused all sorts of trouble. Did you know? It was real bad. So you better think about this hard, Tagata, or there's going to be pain, true blue pain. It's kind of insinuating that she's referring to Koichi.
I thought I literally thought it was a panel that like it was mentioned that it was her cousin.
Nope. It looks like that is not the case.
Yeah, I could have swore like, and I also watched a video that had the panels on it. I don't know where that video is because I haven't.
Well, a lot
watched
of
it
people
really.
like to post false information, and just like make shit up.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Biggles would
right.
like to move on.
Yeah, let's go to because this was supposed to be a shorter one. Okay, Tojima wants to be a common writer. Thank God that fucking fat bitch is not in this fucking episode. I am so glad, and I hope I'm so glad that Tojima is back and Tackle is back, even though they got their shit kicked in. But because they spent 2 hours, or not 2 hours, 2 episodes fucking that, or not fucking that fat bitch, 2 episodes with that fat
I
fucking
mean,
bitch.
I was about to say that might have taken 2 episodes.
uh, okay. If they don't have the spider guy turn good and fight Batman, then it feels to me like they just fucking wasted our time. And it feels like they spent 2 episodes to fucking set that up. It was the worst show for 2 weeks straight. Sorry, it wasn't always
This episode was fucking fantastic. I liked what they did.
Yes.
And now you have Tojima's whole moral conflict of like, I did not live up to what a common writer should be.
So
I have failed. He's completely dejected.
we'll see how it happens, but yeah, it's just I'm so glad they fucking fixed that shit.
I will say though, I was really hyped up when he showed up and just threw a bunch of motherfuckers into the air.
Yeah, he came in and started kicking ass. Well, she probably will. This fucking show's got some crazy. Oh, there we go. The show takes some stuff pretty quick, except for the fucking waste of my fucking life. 44 minutes.
I like how the Yakuza guy was telling Tojima that the faker can never beat the real thing. Meanwhile, he got his ass kicked by both Tojima and Tackle.
Yeah. I really,
As a
honestly,
shocker, he got his shit rocked by 2 fakers.
yeah, I can't wait. Or what I really hope is like at the end, Tojima has like a legit costume like Tackle does, and he's not in his khakis and his button down. That would be awesome. Okay.
I mean, this would be the perfect arc to give him a full costume.
Yes. And then V3 shows up in like an actual costume rather than his fucking motorcycle jacket. Little Chad, you got anything?
I mean, are we gonna not talk about the really fun fight in the middle of the episode
Where Taco's fighting the big girl?
with her ultimate electro wave throw?
Oh yeah, and then she got hit while throwing it and couldn't finish it.
I'm not gonna fight some cosplayer.
That's when you're Yugi, where you're like, oh, it should have been me.
No fair! It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
Ugh. That whole meme comes because Yugi got his ass kicked because he was overconfident, and like Yugi was like, "Attempt, don't do it. Like, don't do it, Pharaoh." It's like, no, and then got fucking wrecked because he like got rid of his dark magician or something. Like, all right, let's see. Jujutsu Kaisen. It had the really cool black and white scene. I'm probably going to drop the daily life of a part-time torturer. Now, still really like it, and I still think it's funny, but I feel like this could have been like the 11-minute show or like a 6-episode series
See, I
because
don't
now
watch it because it's closeted. So
whatever. I know Marcel is probably watching every episode and being like, "This is so gay, I love it." And then he'll
he
give
does
me
like gay
shit.
stuff.
Yeah, well, he's watching that fucking vampire one where they all act like bitches, and he's like, "Ho, ho, ho," you know.
He should be. Look, the last time I saw, he was in. Oh, he left Discord. He was in Discord sharing our stream to a couple of the other guys that are in that Discord.
Um, so I might drop this one just because I feel like now they're reusing jokes, and I'm like, if you're going to be reusing jokes, it's done. This one, the villainous one, we find out that we knew the prince was a stalker, but now we got like 10 minutes of confirmation that he's a stalker before we continued on with the story.
And
Um,
also, the heroine is just kind of up to some fucking shit, like
yes, well,
activating her powers to make herself politically appealing to try and get in the way of the two.
she's an isekai person, so we got a double isekai going on.
I'm getting the feeling that it's not going to go well for her, and I feel like what's going to happen is we're going to see that the king of whatever it is, Marine Ford, um, uh,
Who's
is going to be like, no, you're gonna marry this saint chick because it's really politically convenient to have her, and the prince is gonna be like, nah, fuck that hoe, she belongs in the street. Well,
well, he wanted
what
her like
gave you the
executed.
impression? Overlord fan.
Uh, um, Chain Soldier, Chain Soldier had like that one chick who was like, "Oh, your reward's over, but I'm still going to do it. I want to do this more." And he's like,
It's not fair. It should have been me, not him. It's
um,
not fair.
Oh, man,
so
it's useful in so many occasions, Crimson. So perfect. Good timing.
so I moved dead account all the way down because the pardon me guy is getting so fucking annoying. Like
I'm pretty sure I moved that all the way to the bottom of my list.
you did too.
Yeah.
Like I
Oh,
don't
the
mind.
only that's wrong. That's not the. I think the only thing lower than it right now. There we go. No, it's the lowest thing on the list. Dead accounts fucking power system is so retarded.
Yeah, I like. I'm s- I. I'll give it one more episode. I did like the one, the like black and purple haired girl. Uh, yeah, I agree. I did like her. And she's just like, no, you're both exactly the same. And then he's just like, beg pardon, beg pardon, beg pardon, beg pardon, because he kept swearing at her. Dude, if you're going to be begging your pardon for every time you're swearing, you shouldn't swear as much as I do, you stupid fuck.
I think the whole thing is that he's a fake polite guy on a power trip.
Yeah, well, he's fucking annoying. So there's like,
Oh yeah, I think he's a fucking douchebag who needs to get bent. But
have you seen 100?
no,
Okay, don't watch it. It's not good. But there's this silver-haired girl named Amelia, who pretends to be a boy and is one of the most annoying fucking characters I've ever had to deal with.
Are
Right?
you gonna hold on? Let's to clarify. You're complaining about a silver-haired character named Amelia being annoying. You're about to open a whole bunch of problems on the interwebs if that gets tagged to the wrong show.
Yeah. Well, I specifically said what show it is. Now, this is not a silver-haired half elf, and this is not the girl from ReZero. This is a girl who pretends to be a guy who's like super freaking like rapey, uh and like super like she's kind of like a yandere.
Chat will never let you forget, just like we won't. This is my
There's 100 above Frieren. No, it's not even on the fucking list, you retard. Um, so think unhid Reddit mod. Yeah, basically the dead account dude. So she's like super fucking annoying. Now, characters that I find just as annoying, this dude from Dead Account and Soul from Black Clover. The only like that these are the three most annoying characters I've fucking met in the fucking anime, and I hate the three of them, and they all deserve to die. Okay, and then I'll end it with this. Ready? Jack of all trades is overhyped by Arceus more than anyone else. There we go. Because it wasted a full episode on the Heroes Party, and Luna, who he loves so much, is dumb because she's like, because she goes, "I'm not going with you. I don't want to die." And then she goes with them, and then when they're getting their ass kicked, she decides to lecture them while still in the dungeon rather than getting the fuck out of there. And then they let a dragon out, and you know whose fault it is? It's hers because she's like, "We have to retreat," and instead of throwing it close to them, she throws it far away. And I was like, I hate this chick. So I'm still going to watch it, but it's dumb. She should have fucking left. But instead, she decided to go and lecture them. All right, that's it. Usually we go for 2 hours and we would talk about everything. But I have to get some fucking sleep because my sleep schedule's all fucked. Yeah, she's a fucking idiot. I hate her. Okay, so
glad I'm not watching this show.
So let's go out on the new clip and then Lucy and then Goblin Slayer, so you can all appreciate the greatness of movies.
Please, just address me as Zenobia.
Very well, if you prefer. Zenobia.
Movies! 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 Idiot! Concentrate with everything you've got.
Like hell we're gonna believe that. A goblin lord? My ass. You're just a damn goblin. Just a disgusting little goblin. And me? I'm the